Morning students, welcome to my channel Lalit Sir. Processing fibers into wool. The wool which is used for knitting sweaters or for weaving shawls is the finished product of a long process which involves the following steps. Step 1. The fleece of the sheep along with a thin layer of skin is removed from its body. This process is called shearing. Machines similar to those used by barbers are used to shave off hair. Usually, hair are removed during the hot weather. Why hot weather? Because in the winter, these sheep do not feel this kind of the cold environment. And the hot weather, if they remove their hair, they can survive after removing the hairs. This enables sheep to survive without their protective coat of hair. The hair provide woolen fibers. Woolen fibers are then processed to obtain woolen yarns. Shearing does not hurt the sheep just as it does not hurt when you get a haircut or your father shave his beard. Some Indian breeds of the sheep, it is shown in the table. You can see here some of the breeds, like this is Lohi good quality wool which is available in Rajasthan. We all have understood about this kind of the good quality of the wools. Let again we check step 2. The sheared skin with hair is thoroughly washed in tanks to remove grease, dust and dirt. This is called scoring. Nowadays scoring is done by machines. Step 3. After scoring, sorting is done. The hairy skin is sent to a factory where hair of the different structures are separated or sorted. Then step 4. The small fluffy fibers called burrs are picked out from the hair. These are the same burrs which sometimes appear on your sweaters. The fibers are scored again and dried. This is the wool ready to be drawn into fibers. Step 5. The fibers can be dyed in various colors, as the natural fleece of the sheep and goat is black, brown or white. Step 6. The fibers straightened, combed and rolled into yarn. The longer fibers are made into wool for sweaters and the shorter fibers are spun and woven into woolen cloth. You can see here the different kind of the process of shearing, scoring by machines, rolling into yarn. This kind of process you can see. Very simple process. Here you can see also the processing of fibers into wool can be processed as this 5 or 6 steps, which is shearing, after that scoring, sorting, cleaning of burrs, dyeing and rolling. So this kind of process is used. So have you understood the process of fiber into wool? Shearing, scoring, sorting, cleaning of burrs, dyeing and rolling. Students, now we will understand about life history of silk moth. Before that, we will see the animated video for life history of silk moth.
Formation of silk fiber. Silk is very important natural fiber. It is soft, lustrous, elastic and strong. You will be surprised to hear that yarn produced by them is much stronger than a steel wire of similar thickness. More importantly, it can be colored very easily. There are different varieties of silk, of which mulberry, ari, tasar, and muga silk are of commercial importance. Most commercial silk is mulberry silk, which is very fine white fiber. Silk fibers are obtained from cocoon of silkworm. Let's understand the life of silkworm and how cocoon is formed by them. A female silk moth lay hundreds of eggs at a time. Let's talk about one of the egg. When the young organism growing in the egg reaches to the larva stage, it comes out of the egg. Now, the organism is known as caterpillar or also called silkworm. The silkworm feeds on the leaves of mulberry plant. When it grows and is ready to enter in the next stage of life cycle called pupa, it starts weaving a net around itself. It then swings its head from side to side, forming a shape of 8. While doing so, the silkworm secretes a protein which on exposure to air becomes hard. This is the silk fiber. Silkworm covers itself completely and enters in the next stage of its life cycle called pupa. The covering so formed is called cocoon. Inside the cocoon, the pupa grows and becomes a moth. The silk fiber is obtained from cocoon of the silkworm. The rearing of silkworm for obtaining cocoons made of silk fibers is called sericulture. Here we complete this topic. Thanks for watching this video. Have a look at the range of courses available in variety of formats only on learnfatafat.com. Your favorite course is waiting for you. Hurry up and get it now.
I hope you understood about life history of silk moth, and also may you understood about the formation of silk from cocoon. Life history of silk moth. The female silk moth lays egg from which hatch larvae which are called caterpillars. They grow in size, and when the caterpillar is ready to enter the next stage of its life history called pupa, it first weaves a net to hold itself. Then it swings its head from side to side in the form of the figure of 8. During these movements of the head, the caterpillar secretes a fiber made of a protein which hardens on exposure to air and becomes silk fiber. Soon the caterpillar completely covers itself by silk fibers and turns into pupa. This covering is known as cocoon. The further development of the pupa into moth continues inside the cocoon. Silk fibers are used for weaving silk cloth. Can you imagine that the soft silk yarn is as strong as comparable thread of steel? The silk yarn is obtained from the cocoon of the silk moth. There is a variety of silk moth which look very different from one another, and the silk yarn they yield is different in texture. Thus, tasar silk, moga silk, kosa silk, etc. are obtained from cocoons spun by different types of moth. The most common silk moth is the mulberry silk moth. The silk fiber from the cocoon of this moth is soft, lustrous, and elastic and can be dyed in beautiful colors. Sericulture or culture of silkworm is a very old occupation in India. India produced plenty of silk on a commercial scale. Now we understood about from cocoon to silk. How the cocoon, we get the silk from the cocoon. For obtaining silk, moths are reared and their cocoons are collected to get silk thread. Let us see Let's understand the term rearing. Rearing means there are different type of animals so reared nowadays for the commercial purpose, like cow, buffalo, and ox. Ox is used by the farmer for the farming. Cow milk is sold everywhere. So this is called the rearing. Here also we are doing the rearing of the silkworms. A female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs at a time. The eggs are stored carefully on strips of cloth or paper and sold to the silkworm farmers. The farmers keep eggs under hygienic condition and under suitable condition of a temperature and humidity. The eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature for the larvae to hatch from eggs. This is done when mulberry trees bear a fresh crops of leaf. The larvae called caterpillars or silkworms eat day and night and increase enormously in size. Here you can see a female silk moth, silkworm, eggs. Here this is a mulberry tree, then a larva, a caterpillar feeding on the mulberry leaves, and this is a cocoon. These cocoons are used here. Here, dear students, I want to discuss one story where this silkworm idea came. The exact time of discovery of a silk is perhaps unknown. According to an old Chinese legend, the Empress Si Longqi was asked by the Emperor Hung Ti to find the cause of the damaged leaves of the mulberry trees growing in their garden. The Empress found white worms eating up mulberry leaves. She also noticed that they were spinning shiny cocoons around them. Accidentally, a cocoon dropped into her cup of tea, and tangle of delicate threads separated from the cocoon. Silk industry began in China and was kept a closely guarded secret for hundreds of years. Later on, traders and travelers introduced silk to other countries. The route they traveled is still called the Silk Route. So the larvae are kept in a clean bamboo trays along with the freshly chopped mulberry leaves. After 25 to 30 days, the caterpillars stop eating and move to a tiny chamber of bamboo and try to spin cocoons. Small racks of or twigs may be provided in the trays to which cocoons get attached. The caterpillar or silkworm spins in the cocoon inside, which develops the silk moth. Now, what is the process to get the silk fibers? So, the processing silk. A pail of cocoons is used for obtaining silk fibers. The cocoons are kept under the sun or boiled or exposed steam. The silk fibers separate out. The process of taking out threads from the cocoon for use as silk is called reeling the silk. Reeling is done in the special machines which unwind the threads or fibers of the silk from the cocoon. Silk fibers are then spun into silk threads, which are woven into silk cloth by weavers. So, in this chapter, dear students, I hope you understood about silk comes from the silkworms and wool is obtained from sheep, goat, and yak. Hence, silk and wool are animal fibers. The hairs of a camel, llama, and alpaca are also processed to yield wool. In India, mostly sheep are reared for getting wool. Sheep's hair is sheared off from the body, scoured, sorted, dried, dyed, spun, and woven to yield wool. Silkworms are caterpillars of a silk moth. During their life cycle, the worms spin cocoons of the silk fibers. Silk fibers are made of a protein. Silk fibers from the cocoons are separated out and reeled into silk threads. Weavers weave silk threads into silk cloth. I hope you understand all the topics. Thank you.